Hey there, chocolate lovers! Today we're making a rich and silky dark chocolate mousse cake with a buttery cookie crust. No flour, no baking, just smooth, chocolatey goodness straight from the fridge. Grab your favorite shortbread cookies, about 150 grams or 5 ounces. Toss them into a food processor and crush them into fine crumbs. If you don't have a processor, a rolling pin and some aggression will do. Now melt 50 grams of butter. Just under half a stick. You can zap it in the microwave, but I'm going old school with a water bath. It's slower, but it feels fancier, like the butter's going to a spa. Once your butter is fully melted, pour it over the cookie crumbs. Give it a good mix. We're looking for the texture of wet sand at a beach made entirely of cookies. Now press that delicious mess into the bottom of a cake ring or spring-form pan. Use a spoon or the bottom of a glass to smooth it out. Voila, our crust is done. Set it aside while we tackle the star of the show, the mousse. First, chop up 200 grams of dark chocolate. The finer you chop, the faster it melts. Now take 400 milliliters of heavy cream, about 1 3/4 cups, and whip it until you get soft peaks. We're not going for whipped cream fireworks, just a smooth, creamy base. In a separate bowl, separate 3 eggs and keep just the yolks. And here's a quick question for you. How do you feel about raw egg yolks in desserts? Totally cool with it or kinda weirded out? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious where we all stand on the uncooked egg scale. Add in 2 tablespoons of honey, the good stuff. Then whip the yolks and honey together until the mixture becomes pale, thick, and dreamy. It's like golden velvet in a bowl. Time to melt the chocolate. Set up your water bath again and gently melt the chopped chocolate. Stir patiently, don't let it overheat. We want it smooth and glossy, not gritty or clumpy. Once it's full, now we're ready to combine everything into mousse magic, but that's coming up next. Now that your chocolate is silky and melted, let's bring everything together. Start by pouring the yolk and honey mixture into the whipped cream. Next, slowly pour in the melted chocolate. Use a spatula to gently fold it in. Don't rush it. We're building a smooth base, not beating eggs into submission. Again, fold carefully. This is where the mousse takes shape. You're looking for a rich, unified mixture. Thick, shiny, and absolutely irresistible. Once your mousse is fully combined and smooth, grab the pan with your crust. Pour the mousse gently over the crust, letting it settle naturally. Use a spatula to smooth out the top, like you're icing a chocolate cloud. Now comes the hard part. Waiting. Place the cake in the fridge for at least 4 hours, longer if you can. Overnight is ideal if you're into self-control. I'm not, but hey, we try. When it's firm and chilled, remove the cake ring. If needed, slide a knife along the edge to loosen it up. And there it is, a gorgeous, no-bake, dark chocolate mousse cake. Dark, smooth, elegant. One bite and you'll be hooked. It's like eating a chocolate truffle in cake form, rich but light, simple but stunning. Thanks so much for watching. If this recipe made your day even a little sweeter, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs more chocolate in their life. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. There's plenty more deliciousness where this came from. See you next time. And save me a slice, will you?
Today we're making a dessert inspired by Squid Game. Crack 2 eggs into a mixing bowl. It's better if the eggs are at room temperature. They whip up much better. Just leave them out for a bit before you start. Add sugar to the eggs. You can use regular white sugar or brown sugar. Brown adds a bit of caramel flavor. Start mixing. First on low speed, then switch to medium. Beat the mixture until it becomes light and fluffy. Sift the flour and cocoa powder into a separate bowl. This helps remove lumps and adds air to the mix. Gently fold the dry ingredients into the egg mixture. Use a spatula and fold from the bottom up. Try not to stir too hard or you'll lose the airiness. Prepare your baking pan. A round pan about 18 to 20 centimeters, 7 to 8 inches in diameter works best. Grease the pan with vegetable oil. You can also line the bottom with baking paper. It'll make things easier later. Pour the batter into the pan. Place it into a preheated oven at 170 to 175 degrees Celsius, 340 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake for 30 minutes. Important, don't open the oven during the first 25 minutes. Your sponge cake will sink like it's lost the game. Check doneness with a wooden skewer. It should come out clean. Let the cake cool completely. Then crumble it into fine crumbs in a bowl. Tip: if you've got leftover sponge from another day, this is a great way to bring it back to life. Add cooked sweetened condensed milk. You can buy it ready-made or cook it yourself. Just boil a can, unopened, in water for 2 to 2.5 hours. Keep an eye on the water level. Mix everything into a smooth, dough-like texture. If it feels dry, add a spoonful more of condensed milk. If it's too sticky, add some more crumbs. Now, roll the mixture into balls. Make them about the size of a walnut, easy to eat in one bite. And remember, this may not be squid game, but the shape of your ball still decides its fate. Let's make the glaze. Break white chocolate into pieces and put it in a heat-safe glass or bowl. Place it over a saucepan of hot water, a double boiler, and stir gently until melted. Add a few drops of food coloring. Stir until the color is even. While they chill, we've got a quick moment. Leave a comment. What dessert reminds you of your childhood? And if you're enjoying the recipe, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Take out the chilled balls, stick each one on a skewer, and dip them in the glaze. Stand them upright, like in a foam block or stand, so the glaze sets smoothly and evenly. Once the glaze is firm, decorate. You can draw the classic shapes: circle, square, triangle. The decorations will remind you of the famous shapes: circle, square, triangle, just like in the show. So if you've been looking for a Squid Game themed treat, you're in the right place. Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're making something soft, chewy, and just a little bit magical: homemade berry mochi. Let's kick things off with the filling. Into a small saucepan, pour some water, toss in fresh berries, and sprinkle in sugar. Simple, right? Now, full disclosure, this is actually my very first time making mochi, So if it turns out great, awesome. If it doesn't, well, at least you'll get to laugh at my mistakes. Bring it to a gentle boil, and once the berries start popping, mash them down with a spatula, like you're releasing stress after a long day. Now stir in a little agar-agar. That's our magic trick to turn this juicy goodness into a gel. Pour it into a cup or bowl and let it chill. We'll repeat the same process for the second filling. Because one flavor of mochi? Cute. Two flavors? That's a party. Alright, let's move on to the mochi dough itself. In a bowl, add a pinch of salt, some sugar, and milk. Mix until everything dissolves. Next, add sweet rice flour and a splash of oil. Stir until smooth. This is where mochi magic begins. We're making two colors today, so divide the batter and add just a couple drops of food coloring. Not too much, unless you want your hands to look like you lost a fight with a unicorn. Microwave each bowl for about 2 minutes at medium power, around 750 to 800 watts. Pull it out, let it cool a bit, and get ready for the fun part. Now, quick question. Have you ever made mochi before? Or am I the only one fumbling around here? Let me know in the comments. I could use the moral support. Before we shape them, dust the table with rice flour so nothing sticks. Flatten a piece of dough, spoon in the berry filling, and pinch the edges closed like a little dumpling. Roll it into a ball, and there you have it, your first homemade mochi. Is it perfect? Probably not. Is it delicious? Oh, absolutely. And that's it. Mochi with a chewy shell, sweet berry heart, and the satisfaction of making it from scratch. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this little experiment, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more sweet adventures. Start by making the sponge cake. Use room temperature eggs. They whip better. Crack the eggs into a clean, dry bowl. Add sugar to the eggs. Whip with a mixer first on medium, then on high speed until very thick, pale mixture forms that leaves a distinct ribbon trail. About 5 to 8 minutes. Without letting the whipped mixture deflate, quickly but carefully sift flour in batches over the top. Gently fold with a spatula, using bottom to top motions to preserve airiness. Overmixing will make the sponge dense. Prepare an 18cm diameter pan by thoroughly greasing bottom and sides with butter and dusting with flour or lining with parchment paper. Preheat the oven to 170 to 175 degrees Celsius in advance. Pour the batter into the prepared pan. Gently tap or rotate the pan to distribute evenly and release large air bubbles. Bake in the preheated oven on middle rack for about 30 minutes. Do not open the oven during the first 20 to 25 minutes to prevent collapsing. Test doneness with a toothpick. It should come out clean from the center. After baking, let the sponge cool completely in the pan placed on a wire rack to prevent sogginess. How beautifully our sponge cake rises. Tell me, what are your favorite types of bisevet? It will be very interesting for me to find out. While the sponge cools, soak agar-agar in a small amount of hot, not boiling, water, according to package instructions, usually 10 to 15 minutes. Proper soaking is crucial. Prepare a springform pan, 18 centimeters or slightly larger, by lining sides with tall parchment strips extending above the rim. This eases cake removal. Remove the completely cooled sponge from the pan. Carefully slice the sponge horizontally in half using a long, sharp knife or thread for even layers. Place the bottom half of the sponge in the base of the prepared springform pan. This will be the cake base. Prepare the mousse. Whip 250 milliliters of very cold cream, 33 to 35% fat, to stiff peaks. Chill bowl and beaters beforehand for best results. Set whipped cream aside. In a saucepan, heat other cream. For mousse, approximately 100 to 150 milliliters, without boiling, to 80 degrees. Add soaked agar-agar with its water and vanilla extract to the warm cream. Whisk well and bring the mixture to a boil. Simmer agar mixture for 30 seconds, stirring constantly to activate. You'll get a smooth liquid. If mixture thickens prematurely, gently rewarm on low heat while stirring until liquid. Remove saucepan from heat. Add finely chopped or grated white chocolate. Stir vigorously until chocolate fully melts and mixture is smooth. Let chocolate mixture cool 3 to 5 minutes, stirring until warm, about 35 to 40 degrees. Too hot will melt the mousse, too cold will cause clumping. Gradually, in 1 to 2 spoon portions, pour warm chocolate mixture into whipped cream. Gently but thoroughly fold with a spatula using bottom to top motions until uniform. Avoid overmixing. Pour finished mousse into the pan over the sponge base. Lightly tap pan on counter to release air bubbles. Smooth mousse surface with spatula or knife. Cover cake with plastic wrap touching mousse surface or use acetate strip for smooth sides. Refrigerate for full setting minimum 6 hours, preferably overnight, 8 to 12 hours. Agar gains strength over time. After setting, carefully remove springform ring. Remove parchment strips from cake sides. Today we're making a festive cake for the Independence Day of the USA. Bright, tasty, and symbolic. Let's start with the base. Pour in 2 cups of sugar. It's better to use fine white sugar. It will dissolve faster and ensure the homogeneity of the batter. Sift 2 cups of flour. Sifting aerates the flour and prevents lumps. Premium flour works best. Add a teaspoon of vanilla, baking powder, baking soda, and a pinch of salt. Salt enhances the flavor, even in sweet pastries. Don't skip it. Whisk the dry ingredients until completely combined. Lumps or unevenness can affect the sponge cake's texture. Let's move on to the wet ingredients. We'll need eggs. Make sure they're at room temperature. Cold eggs can cause the batter to seize and turn dense. Add 1 cup of neutral vegetable oil and 2 cups of milk. Take the milk out of the fridge in advance as well. Mix everything thoroughly, either by hand or with a mixer on medium speed. The consistency should be smooth, without lumps or clots. Divide the batter into 3 equal parts. This ensures even color and baking. Use kitchen scales or measuring cups for accuracy. Add blue food coloring to 1 part, red to another. Leave the third plain. It'll be the white layer. Don't skimp on the coloring or the result may look dull. Mix the batter with the colorings until even. Gel food colorings work best. They're more vibrant and won't thin out the batter. Prepare your baking pans by greasing the sides and bottom with butter or lining them with parchment. This will prevent sticking and make removal easier. Pour the colored batter into the pans. If you have fewer than 3 pans, bake in batches. Keep unused batter covered with plastic wrap at room temperature. Preheat the oven to 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperature matters. If it's too hot, the cakes might set on top before baking through. Place the cakes in the center of the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Don't open the oven for the first 20 minutes or your sponges may sink. While the cakes are cooling, let's prepare the frosting. Use chilled heavy cream, at least 33%, and sugar. The ideal temperature is 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Whip the cream, starting on medium speed, then increase to high until stiff peaks form. The frosting should hold its shape and not drip from the whisk. Set aside some cream for decoration.
Use the rest of the cream between the layers. Don't beat for too long. You can beat it into butter.
Carefully remove the cooled cakes from the molds and let them rest for another 10 minutes. It's better not to assemble the hot sponge cake. It can move under the cream. One of the cakes is green, but don't worry, it would be blue inside. Let's start assembling the cake. The first layer is blue. Apply cream evenly on top. The second is white, then cream again. Finish with the red cake. If the edges are not perfectly even, you can trim them a little. This will make the cake neat and stable, especially if you plan on decorating. Life hack. To avoid getting your hands dirty when filling the pastry bag, put it on a tall glass and pour the cream inside, like a pro. Make a bigger hole in the red and blue cream. They are needed for pouring. Use the white cream for details. Precision is needed here. Decorate the top of the cake. Stripes, stars, flag elements. Use a toothpick as a guide for neat lines. If your hand is shaking, just say it's an artistic interpretation. After decorating, put the cake in the refrigerator for at least 6 hours. This will stabilize the cream, the layers will soak, and the taste will become richer. If you prepare it in advance, the cake can be easily stored in the refrigerator for up to 2 days in a closed container. It's better not to freeze. The color may fade. And here it is, a festive, bright, delicious cake for July 4th. It's easy to prepare, but looks impressive. A great reason to please your loved ones. This cake can also be made in a different color scheme for different holidays. I hope you found it delicious, understandable, and a little fun.
Hey friends, welcome back. Today, we're making something really special. A layered Italian-style ice cream that looks simple on the outside, but hides a surprise inside. Start with 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream. That's 300 milliliters for the metric folks. And pour it into a mixing bowl. Add 1/2 cup of sweetened condensed milk. Whip it up until you see soft peaks. Don't overdo it. We're making ice cream, not drywall. Chop up a handful of pistachios, nice and fine, and stir them into the creamy base. Add in pistachio paste too. This is where that nutty flavor really shines. Gently fold everything together with a spatula. Pour this into a round mold and let it freeze for about an hour. For the second layer, repeat the cream and condensed milk trick. Whip until soft peaks form. Meanwhile, melt some white chocolate over a water bath. Try not to eat it all while you wait. I'm watching you. Stir the melted chocolate into the cream mixture, fold it together, then pour it over the pistachio base. Back into the freezer it goes. Now for the final act. Whip up another batch of cream with condensed milk. This time, mix in cherry topping for that fruity kick. Take about 3½ ounces of cherries, pit them if you haven't already, and slice them in half. Mix them right into the creamy cherry base. Pour this into the mold, smooth the top, and let it all freeze for several hours until completely firm. Quick question for you. If you could only pick one, pistachio, chocolate, or cherry, which flavor would win your heart? Drop your answer in the comments, and let's see which team is the strongest. Once frozen, slice into this beauty and surprise. a layered Italian ice cream masterpiece that's creamy, nutty, fruity, and chocolatey all in one. Thanks so much for watching, friends. If you enjoyed this recipe, hit that like button, subscribe for more sweet adventures, and I'll see you next time. Hey friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're making a timeless classic, the New York cheesecake. Rich, creamy, and the kind of dessert that makes you wonder why you'd ever settle for store-bought. This is one of those desserts that feels fancy, but is actually pretty simple if you know the tricks. And today, you're going to learn them all. Let's kick things off with the crust. Grab about 200 grams, or 7 ounces, of cookies. Digestive, graham crackers, shortbread, whatever you've got works. Crush them into fine crumbs. You can use a food processor, or you can go old school with a rolling pin. Either way, this is your moment to take out some stress. Just don't break your countertop, okay? Cheesecake therapy is about baking, not renovations. By the way, quick pause. Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. I love seeing how far this cheesecake travels around the world. Now let's talk butter. Melt about 100 grams. That's a stick of butter for my American friends. Bring a pot of water to a simmer, then turn off the heat. Place a bowl of butter over the steam and let it melt gently. This way, we avoid burning the butter. Nobody wants smoky cheesecake. Once melted, pour it into the cookie crumbs. Mix until it looks like sandy cookie dough. You'll know it's right when it clumps a little if you press it between your fingers. Grab your springform pan. Don't skip this type of pan. Trying to get a cheesecake out of a regular pan is basically a kitchen horror movie. Quick pause again. What's your favorite cheesecake flavor? Classic New York, blueberry, chocolate swirl, maybe pumpkin? Drop it in the comments. I might just test your idea in the next video. Pour in the mixture, press it down evenly, and don't forget to build up the edges. That's what keeps the filling cozy inside, like cheesecake walls holding back deliciousness. Pop the crust aside while we move on. Time for the filling, the heart of our New York cheesecake. In a big bowl, add 400 grams of cream cheese. Go full fat here, life's too short for diet cheesecake. Add about 100 grams of sugar and whisk until smooth and glossy. Now crack in 2 eggs, one at a time, mixing gently after each one. Think of it like making friends. Don't rush, just welcome them slowly into the party. Pour in about 200 milliliters of heavy cream and stir, but don't whip. We want silky, not fluffy. Over-mixing adds air, which means cracks later, and cheesecake should be smooth, not stressed. Now pour that dreamy mixture into your crust. And now, the baking magic. Start at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius, for 10 minutes to set the top. Then lower the oven to about 230 degrees Fahrenheit, 110 degrees Celsius, and bake for another 40 to 50 minutes. Here's the tricky part. Don't rush it. Every oven is a little different, so your cheesecake might need extra time. When in doubt, patience is the secret ingredient. And here's a pro tip. If the edges look set but the middle still jiggles like jello, you're on the right track. It'll finish setting as it cools. Once baked, don't dive in just yet. Cheesecake is like that friend who needs a little me time after a party. Let it rest and set for 4 to 6 hours in the fridge. Overnight is even better if you can resist the temptation. That patience pays off. It gives you the perfect creamy texture, no leaks, no mess. And when you finally cut that first slice, oh man, it's rich, smooth, and pure cheesecake heaven. Pair it with fresh berries, a drizzle of chocolate, or just eat it plain at midnight straight from the pan. No judgment here. Thanks for baking with me today. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who loves dessert as much as you do. See you next time. Crack eggs into a bowl. Add sugar. Whisk until fluffy. Sift cocoa and flour. Mix until smooth. Grease the baking pan. Bake 30 minutes at 175 degrees Celsius. Check your oven temperature for best results. Pour water into saucepan. Heat until boiling. Add sugar and coffee. Boil 30 seconds. Let cool completely. Run knife around cake edges. Cut off top crust. Place back in pan. Drizzle with syrup. Whip cream with sugar to stiff peaks. Warm other cream slightly. Add soaked agar. Add chocolate. Stir until smooth. Cool 5 minutes. Slice peaches thinly. Combine chocolate mix with whipped cream. Pour half mousse into pan. Layer peaches on top. Cover with remaining mousse. Refrigerate at least 4 hours. Remove ring. Taste your creation. Cake is ready. Enjoyed this recipe? Like and subscribe. Share with baking friends. Hey there, dessert lovers. Let's start with the base, a simple cocoa sponge cake. Crack 4 large eggs into a bowl and add 120 grams of sugar. That's about half a cup plus a tablespoon, if you don't speak metric. Today we're making an Oreo ice cream cake. No fancy machines, no eggs in the cream, just a cool, layered treat that disappears faster than your willpower at midnight. Whip it up with a mixer until it's pale, fluffy, and triples in volume. Be patient. This takes 7 to 10 minutes. Now sift in 100 grams of flour and 20 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder. That's about 3/4 cup and 3 tablespoons, respectively. You can add a teaspoon of baking powder too, if your flour isn't already self-rising. Fold gently. No harsh stirring. We're not making scrambled eggs. Line a 20-centimeter springform pan with parchment, pour in the batter, and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius, for 40 to 45 minutes. Don't peek early. Cakes are like cats, temperamental and don't like sudden drafts. Once done, cool it completely on a rack, then slice it in half horizontally to get 2 layers. Take 115 grams of Oreo cookies and crush them into crumbs. Save a few for decoration unless you snack on them first. I won't judge. Yes, we're leveling up. Now, let's make the ice cream filling. And yes, it's dangerously easy. Grab 350 milliliters of heavy whipping cream. That's about 1.5 cups. Make sure it's super cold, like your ex's heart. Whip it until soft peaks form. Hey, quick question. What's your favorite childhood frozen dessert? Was it an ice cream sandwich, a choco taco, or just a giant bowl of cookies and cream? Tell me in the comments. I want to know how nostalgic we're getting here. Let's assemble. Place one cake layer at the bottom of your springform pan. Add half the cream mixture, then sprinkle the remaining cookie crumbs on top, like edible confetti. Place the second cake layer on top, then spread the rest of the cream evenly. Smooth it out. Pop the whole thing in the freezer for at least 6 hours. Overnight is better. Now for the fun part, decoration. Press whole Oreos into the top and sprinkle on some chocolate shavings if you're feeling fancy. And there it is. Creamy, crunchy, chocolatey perfection. It's like Oreo and ice cream had a baby and raised it in a bakery. Whether you're making this for a birthday, a hot summer day, or just because you deserve something amazing, this cake delivers. It's rich, it's nostalgic, and it's impossible to eat just one slice. Seriously, make some space in your freezer and maybe cancel your evening plans. Thanks so much for watching. Hey there, Sweet Tooth Squad. Today we're making a light and airy summer cake with a juicy berry center. It's soft, fruity, and so easy. Crack 3 room temperature eggs into a bowl. Trust me, cold eggs are lazy mixers. Add 100 grams of sugar. That's about half a cup. Now whip it like it owes you money, until it's pale, thick, and fluffy. It should almost triple in size. Next, sift in 100 grams of flour, about 3/4 of a cup. Gently fold it in with a spatula. Don't rush it. We're making cake, not cement. Line an 18-centimeter cake pan, about 7 inches, and pour in the batter. Preheat your oven to 340 degrees Fahrenheit, 170 to 175 degrees Celsius, and bake for 30 minutes. No peeking. While that's baking, let's make the fruity filling. In a saucepan, toss in 200 grams of frozen berries. I used strawberries and black currants. Add 50 milliliters of water and 40 grams of sugar. In a separate bowl, dissolve 12 grams of cornstarch in a splash of water. Meanwhile, bloom 2 grams of gelatin in cold water. Bring it to a simmer, stirring occasionally, and let those berries burst open. Once the berry mixture starts bubbling, lower the heat and slowly stir in the cornstarch. Keep stirring until thickened. Turn off the heat and mix in the gelatin until fully dissolved. Pour the filling into a bowl and let it chill in the fridge until cold and thick. Okay, back to the cake. Let it cool completely, then slice it horizontally into 2 layers. Now, for the cream, grab 450 grams of heavy cream, or about 2 cups. Add 50 grams of sugar and whip until soft peaks form. Think gentle clouds, not butter. Quick poll while we whip. What's your go-to summer dessert? A berry tart? Ice cream sandwich, or something cold your grandma used to make? Drop it in the comments. Let's swap ideas. Now we build. Place the bottom sponge layer on your stand. Add a generous layer of whipped cream, then spoon in some of that cold berry filling. Place the second layer of sponge on top. Add more cream and smooth it out. Use a spatula to clean up the edges. We want a nice, tidy finish. Now for a twist, color the remaining cream blue and pipe a soft swirl around the edge. Add the rest of the berry, filling in the center. And just look at that. A burst of summer color, creamy clouds, and that glossy, jammy heart. Thanks so much for watching. If this recipe made you smile, give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more cozy bakes and sweet ideas. See you next time, and hey, save me a slice.
Hey friends! Today we're going green. We're making a no-bake matcha cheesecake. Let's start with the crust. Grab about 150 grams, that's roughly 5 ounces, of your favorite cookies. Crush them into fine crumbs. Food processor works best, but a rolling pin and some stress from your inbox will do the job just fine. Next, melt 40 grams, about 3 tablespoons, of butter until it's silky liquid gold. Pour that over the cookie crumbs, mix it up, and you've got the base for our cheesecake. Press the cookie mixture into an even layer. No bald spots, people. While that's happening, bloom 15 grams, just over a tablespoon, of gelatin in 75 milliliters, 1/3 cup, of cold water. Let it sit for a few minutes until it looks like a jelly sponge. Now for the filling. In a mixing bowl, add 200 milliliters, about 3/4 cup, of heavy cream, and 70 grams, 1/3 cup, of sugar. Whip until you get medium peaks. Think firm enough to stand up, but still a little soft, like a comfy couch. To your whipped cream, 200 grams, 3/4 cup, of plain yogurt. Don't forget 60 milliliters, 1/4 cup, of warm milk. Add 400 grams, 14 ounces, of cream cheese. And the melted gelatin. Use a double boiler to melt it gently. Mix until it's silky smooth. Pour half of this dreamy mixture into the crust. And pop it in the fridge. We're giving it time to set before we go full matcha mode. While it chills, dissolve 7 grams, about 1½ teaspoons, of matcha powder. Stir until all the lumps are gone. Add this green goodness to the rest of the cream mixture. Quick question break. What's your favorite tea flavor in desserts? Matcha, Earl Grey, chai? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm taking votes for my next tea-themed cake. Once your first cheesecake layer is firm, pour the matcha layer over it. Smooth it out and send it back to the fridge for at least 2 hours. When the cheesecake has set completely, take it out and grab about 20 grams, a small handful of pistachios. Crush them into fine crumbs and sprinkle generously on top. It's like putting jewelry on your dessert. Slice it up, grab a fork, and enjoy that creamy, tea-infused perfection. Thanks for watching, friends. If you enjoyed this recipe, hit the like button, share it with your dessert-loving crew, and subscribe so you never miss a sweet adventure. See you next time.